everyone. What I'm doing is playing around with my Ecamm, which is a program that does the live streaming on on a Mac. So I have been loading that on, loading up the various components, included my second webcam camera. So I've now got the C920, which is the one that I'm looking at, and the other one, which I was actually meant to open up with this screen, I just realised. And then I was going to move to this screen, no, wrong one. This one, and I think what I do with that one is like that, or, no, I'm not sure. Not sure which way I do it now. Oh, bum. That's probably not the quite the right word for it. Nah, next one on. How do I do it? Oh, see, this is where it's going to take a little bit of experimenting. And I want to actually share the current. No, it's this one. And I think I want to do it like that. Yes, that's it. Which is where I actually started and opened up, because I'm still trying out this Ecamm. So the place that I decide to do that, of course, is actually on my Hypnosis Plus with Roz Facebook page, because this should be, if I've done it right, should be setting its pathway directly into my Facebook business page. So hopefully that's right. Now at some point somewhere, I think there is an option on this screen that's supposed to show comments. Now I'm not sure if that's going to happen or whether I've set that up properly. I don't know for sure. I'm just going to click that button. I don't think that does anything different. Nope. Now I'll go back to where I was, which is, now I don't know what, because as you can see, I'm playing around with it, and I changed something there that I don't really know for sure. What have I done? What have I done? But, no, that's adding a film in. That is showing share screen. That's popping it out, popping me off. Do you like those little praying mantises? Oh, I do. Ain't they lovely? Now somehow I've gotten back to, that's my second camera on the insert. I want that as the main one where I was. Bummer. Is that it? Yes, that's it. Now, I think I popped that note. I don't want to share anymore. So somehow I've got, I don't know. But anyway, you can see me. It is my screen on the background. I'm trying to get it back to where I was with that shared application. And now I've got to try and find where I was with that too. What's the entire screen? No, that clicks up all the other stuff. I don't want that. I want that. And I want the other camera. There, I've got it. Got that one. So, what I'm actually doing with it is experimenting and seeing how it works. But it's part of the adjunct of using, no, and I did that wrong again. So I'll go back to the camera, of using my second camera, which is the C922, that way. I tried putting up what looks like a green screeny thingy, but I've only got a plastic tablecloth, so I've been busy with blue tack doing that. Not quite working yet, but hey, it might one day. And I'm wanting to, oh god, now I've hit something I didn't want to. I need to add that camera back. There it is. So that's fine. At least I know I've got that. And what I want is this one happening. So which way round is it? No, that way. And then that way. No. Oh, this is fun. Not. Anyway, it's all right. I'll get back to where that other one is. I will find it. So I'll go through each of the screens I've got. So there's the first one. There's number 2. Ah, that's the one I want, is that. That. Does that show with that? Ah, good. Now how do I get me in that? I think might be that. No, that. And then that. That right? Oh, look, it doesn't matter. Or does it? There's got to be a way of doing it where it's dead easy. And I'm not 100% sure. I've still got a lot to learn. So at the moment anyway, what I've got is the cards that I dealt out using the Gilded Reverie, Lenormand or Lenormand. I looked up how to actually pronounce that, so I'm hoping that's fairly accurate. And we've actually got the nice, that's the guide book, but I don't actually use that as such. But what I did do from the guidebook, and this is where it gets interesting, trying to find how to get the instructions, you know, the where I'm holding things, I did actually decide to do this one just as a practice because I like this deck so much. I actually thought, well, I'm going to actually give it a bit of practice as in how the book is suggesting it. So that's mainly why I've done this layout, because what it goes through is 9 questions, and I will move this, is 9 questions that you cover using 2 rows, and this one will be a good one for you, Robin. So using the 2 rows that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and obviously the 2 rows. And what's actually expected in this one is to read the 2 cards. As you can see with the question 1, it is someone you'll meet, what comes out of the meeting. Then it is, let's go down, someone you care about and what they'll do. Then it's someone who annoys you, what they'll do. Something that'll happen to console you, something that awaits you, something that will help you, something that will happen which is a surprise to you, something that you desire whether it will happen or not, and something nice is the final one. Now, because I am still just practicing at this and I haven't got these questions in my head, anyone who knows me would understand that factor of, Roz, remember things? You got to be joking. So to memorise things, that's even a harder task, so I don't bother. That's why I've got the sheet there, and it's just a matter of getting the feel of the cards really as to what their basic meanings are. Now, when Sharon and I were playing around with them a little while ago, the long weekend, we did download a couple of guides and helpers. I'm just going to get that actually gave the grand tableau as a reading. So there's, you know, there was something we could print out, and that was just a Google search that we did to put the houses there for doing a grand tableau reading. Oh, great, great practice, good. It was just fun. And for those who are super intuitive and do tune into what their energies and what their guidance is telling them, it's, you know, even if you want to label it psychic, senses and the rest, go for it. It will open your eyes to a deeper understanding of what these cards mean. But for everybody, we do seem to need just that bit of a, I wouldn't say a push, but it doesn't hurt to actually help ourselves to learning new things in whatever way that we are led to and feel like it's the most fun with. So that's how the layout looks. Now, I haven't as yet, because it's now 2:06 p.m. in the afternoon, and I did intend to actually put this together this morning before 9 o'clock. That didn't happen. I did have some distractions and a bit of the rabbit hole stuff happening. So that didn't happen. I've got them here now, and as far as trying to answer them now while I'm doing a live even myself is going to be a bit of a stretch, so I probably won't. But that's there, I'll just label, like say, the names of what the cards are. So as far as reading that first question, someone you'll meet, what comes out of that meeting, it's not actually a question, it's just stating that these two cards, this is 14 and the fox, and 3 is the ship. So when I go to this nice little helping chart that is the houses in the Grand Tableau, as well as it does state a couple of words as a summary of what these cards are. So in this instance I would probably look up, for 14 it is wrong and caution, and for 3 it is travel and longing. So it's probably not a good idea at the moment for me to go travelling, or I'm meeting someone who is going to go travelling, or whatever interpretation you want to put on that. That is where the intuition comes in. And I just realised I had turned my back on my microphone, so I don't know whether that sound is going to wave in and out for you. I'll find out when I go to replay this, to give myself some lessons actually on how to do this a bit better for the next one. And that's another thing of making things easier to understand. Practice. The more you do, the better off you get to being, in the flow of doing things, because they become more automatic, and the memory of the cards becomes even more automatic too. Just from looking at the pictures, I tend to do more looking at what's descriptive in the actual card itself than just the number and a summary of names, list of words. That's just me. There's so many different ways of doing things though, and none of them's wrong. Just pick the one that you like doing yourself. So this one here, as you can see, it's a number 1, and number 1 is the rider, and she's sitting over top of books 26. Now a rider usually brings a message, so I'm thinking that's probably in context of this someone that I care about, and what they're going to be doing. It's to me it's moving ahead and doing some more study or reading or writing a book. So that's what I would say. But considering that this is actually my practice for my daily fortune telling reading, as this says, it is to be a gauge and practice on how I suppose how accurate that the cards can be. If you're doing you do the practice and you learn what some of them are meaning, it makes it that much easier again, of course. Now the next column, the 3, is someone who annoys you and what they'll do. That's coffin, the 8, and it's moving down into 16, which is the stars. So don't know whether there's someone that's annoying me that's going to totally disappear from what my focus is and move in towards their own star realm, or I can just focus on my own star realm. So the next one being number 4 column, and we've got the well here, which is 41, and we've got the mask for 40. Now these 2 cards there are actually part of the expanded section of this deck, because as you can tell there we've got, it is the expanded edition, so there's about 11 extra cards I think with this one. So what I'll end up doing is going through each of these pairs, so that the 19, I'm just trying to point, it's hard doing this backwards, like I've got to go the opposite direction if I want the movements in what I'm doing. Anyway, that's Tower, number 19, and 11 is the whip and the birch broom. So it's the Tower being 19, it's authority, loneliness and separation. Is that what that one means? That's going by what a woman has interpreted them on this particular chart. It does take a bit to focus there, doesn't it? And the 11 is the whip, in context of something that awaits me. Oh my goodness, I've got a bit more of the doing stuff on my own and cracking the whip, getting things done, cleaning out stuff I don't need, which I definitely do have that coming up. And again we've got 32, which is column 6, something that will help you there. So there's 32 is the moon, and we have 25 as the ring. So that's almost, I see that, and these aren't specifically that the moon is supreme over the ring. It's just that you read the two cards together in each of these readings. There's no one of them that's above or extra special compared to the other of the cards. So it is actually reading them together. So for me, that's, the moon, and commitment is, well, a ring for me is commitment, and the moon is just what your dreams are. So, and which number was that one? That was number 6, which was there's something that will help you. So focusing on where my dreams are and what my commitment is to myself. That's how I'm reading that one. Now, in this expanded version of the Lenormand, we've got side by side. It is just, this one is the 25, that's the more aged woman, more mature woman, and it's above 10, which is the scythe. Now the scythe is about danger and severance or whatever of, cutting out, cutting off. I've seen that myself as I've had this deck for a little while now as being more harvest and reaping your rewards. So I think for me that's just meaning it's coming up for the time to be reaping my rewards, and that in this context with the 7 is something that will happen which is a surprise to you. So there could be a nice surprise in a gift or something that I might be getting in a harvest, along those lines, my rewards. And this is the normal one, that the regular 25 woman card for this deck, which would of course represent me in this case, I would think, something that you desire, whether it will happen or not. And anchor is the 35 as part of the regular deck as well, and that's referring to stability and being a good foundation base. Now sometimes anchors will drift, but it still is relevant for whether something will happen or not. There will be that, something from today is going to stay, or it might not. And of course over there at 28 we have, and this one is the more aged man, not the young man, who is in the expanded deck, and something nice, the loyalty of a dog. And 18 is just that, it's dog, it's fidelity, friends, a man. So to me that looks like there's probably the influence of a more older man that's going to be something nice for me to finish my day, is what my prediction might be. So that's just a very roughly, and so far I'm just going to leave it at that, and then tonight when I make the time after another live that I'll be doing tonight, I'll actually have now I've got to sort of switch back to that camera. I'll actually re-look at these cards. I'll probably even leave them on the table there to re-look at them in person without a camera, and work through what has actually been part of my day and how close this reading is, these cards are, to how I've interpreted it, to how it's factual as to what happened, or whether there's a different way that I could have read them. It's just a learning practice thing, and I'm having quite a bit of fun with that. Anticipation is I'll do it every day, but sometimes even those goals can slip by the wayside, whether that's what the anchor means, and it might hold or it might not. We'll be seeing, won't we? Now, since I can't actually see the chat stream now, I know it's possible to have it up here somehow, but I just can't remember with this eCam. So I did see something that came up as a notification. I'm not sure whether it was to my stream here or whether it was to something on mytimetv.live, because I'm doing this into my Hypnosis Plus with Roz page. Well, I hope that's where it's gone. And with that, I'm also hoping that, I'm just going to quickly have a look there. So apologies for the just letting you know that I will be doing a live stream tonight around 7 o'clock. It depends how organised I can be. It'll be between 7 and 7:30. At this point, that will be on mytimetv.live, I think, and I'll just have to reveal who my guest is at the time that she's able to join in. So that's just going to be a bit of a surprise, and it's not going to be to do with tarot or cards or psychic mediumship at all. So join in, or if you get your notifications from mytimetv.live. Hopefully it does work that way, but we'll see. And I'll see you tonight. So thanks for watching this. And it's going to be an adventure to find where on the eCam screen I actually click to finish. And I think it's over there. And thank you.